All right, how is that? No audio. Guys, sorry about that. Is everybody hearing me so far? No audio, no audio. I think we should be good now. Cindy, that thunder was crazy in Homosassa last night. All right, can you guys hear me okay? Sorry about that, everybody. Thanks for catching that. All right, good deal. Thanks, Nicole. Okay, so for that last second, I was talking about how fast the summer went, and it's crazy that we're back for school tomorrow for so many students. That's what I was saying. Okay, good deal. Sorry about that, everybody. Hopefully you don't leave. Stay with me for the next half hour on Fox Local, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay, good deal. I'm seeing lots of thumbs up. I'm seeing better. Good deal. Okay, so that was one of our big stories today on Good Day Orlando. Again, if you're just hopping on, sorry for the little audio snafu. We're live now. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Fox Local. And I was saying that if you are watching on Fox Local on your smart TV, your phone, and you don't want to miss us during the commercials, you can pull us up on Facebook and YouTube, and you can have us through the entire stream without those little breaks. Okay, so we were talking about going back to school today on Good Day Orlando, myself and Amanda, about new outfits, new trends, new crazes. And before we jump into the weather, because I know the weather is a huge story, I wanted to talk about, we actually unboxed, this is not a Labubu, but it's by the same company that makes Labubu. So Amanda and I did not know what this was. We unboxed this. This is one of the crazes for students going back to school. And if you're a parent, maybe you've seen these on Box 35. You've had stories about them. Maybe you've seen them on social media. If you're on TikTok or on Instagram, Facebook, on X, whatever the case may be, these little guys are going wild. So this is not a Labubu, but this is the Mickey family, and they look essentially just like the Labubus. But the story that we had this morning was, sadly enough now, a lot of people are selling fake Labubus, and they're called the Fufus, and they're charging this insane amount for these keychains, and you're buying them online, on websites. I think we saw a lady yesterday on TikTok. We were looking through, just kind of seeing what was happening. Someone bought it at a farmer's market, and it was a fake. Paul, good morning. How are you? Ryan, good morning. Marcelo, good morning. Howard, how are you? So I'm not sure. Weigh in. I mean, we had a poll this morning on Good Day Orlando. So again, the company is called Pop Smart, and they're making Labubus. They're making all sorts of these cute little keychains. And I have to say, I understand why people are going crazy for them. Because if you want a specific one and you don't get it, like in this case, so on the box here, there are 9 different ones. There's a secret one you can get, but if you don't get the one that you want, it starts the craze. You keep buying them and buying them and buying them. But it is kind of fun because it's a mystery. We didn't know which one we were going to get. So I get the craze, but you can take them on your purse, your backpack, and because of school starting, that was the spin on the story that a lot of students, a lot of kiddos want these for their backpack. So what do you think about them? Would you buy one? Because it's not just kids. Adults love these as well, apparently. And our poll on Good Day Orlando this morning was, how much money would you spend on these? Because apparently they're getting sold for like $50 to $100, maybe even more, depending on where you're buying them from. So it's pretty interesting. It's kind of a wild craze, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about because that was one of our trending stories this morning. So weigh in. Let me know what you think. Let's jump into the weather. And again, if you're watching on Fox Local, we'll have another commercial break here coming up in about 3 minutes. So we'll try to knock out as much of this as we can. So right now, if you were out and about here across Central Florida yesterday, and essentially the entire peninsula, we had a lot of rain. You can still see that swirl with that moisture offshore. There's still some energy upstairs in the atmosphere. That is going to bring our rain chances back up this afternoon, that as well as the sea breeze. We can see that stalled boundary. That stalled boundary is right on top of the southeast, on top of Florida, and that's been allowing the moisture just to pool up across the peninsula and has made for some really torrential rain. It's dry right now. Maybe you have plans to get out to a theme park, Disney, Universal, whatever the case may be today to enjoy the last full day of summer. So we're going to take you to Universal and Volcano Bay right now. You can see Hogwarts Castle. You can see Volcano Bay. I'm sure it'll feel great in the water, but the rain chances do go up later on this afternoon. So I would say you definitely want to have a backup plan, or just know you might get chased away. There might be some delays or attractions closed because of the storms. Loren, how are you? Hi, Anina. Thank you so much. You're saying my grandkids would love them, but overpriced. Yeah, I get that, Loren. They're not cheap. This one, so our producer, which was so sweet, she got me this. I believe it was around $30. At a store, so that was a little bit better. But yeah, I'm curious. You can keep weighing in about the Labubus. We'll talk more about the Labubus at the end of the show. And talk a little more about them. Okay, so if you've not been with us too long, you know that we get some weather spotter reports. I wanted to show you some of those, some low temperatures around the area this morning. Mid to upper 70s for the most part. Dylan, Debbie, Steven, thank you so much. Some spots around the area to our south, closer to the metro. Mid-70s in Palm Bay, 77 in Windermere this morning. And Joel, one of the colder spots anyway, 72 in Claremont. We'll take it. Okay, if you're hitting the theme parks, mid to upper 80s at Epic Universe today. Scatter showers and thunderstorms, the name of the game. Oh, Jeff, I see you mentioning the Tropics. I'm going to hit the Tropics as soon as I get past this this forecast for today. I have a huge group of tropical headlines that I'm going to talk about. Thank you for the question. So yeah, again, theme parks today. I know a lot of you have been trying to squeeze in the last bit of fun, so pack the ponchos if you're hitting up Epic Universe or any of the parks today. Around 90, similar to yesterday with more moisture in the air. It's going to be a little cooler today, but seasonable for this time of the year. Then tonight, mid to upper 70s, those showers and thunderstorms do start to fade away little by little. We'll see that here on Futurecast. This is our Fox weather model through the remainder of the day. Notice how the rain chances start to increase. Once we hit 2, 3, 4 o'clock, scatter showers and thunderstorms are the big story. Just like yesterday, we had a ton of lightning, gusty wind, torrential rain. Some minor flooding is possible today. So remember, turn around, don't drown. Try not to get out there in some of the worst of the weather. You can get all this. If you're not watching on the Fox Local app, you can download that. You can download the Storm Team app. But then we'll see this fade away after dinner time into the wee hours of our Monday. Out of the bus stop for the kiddos. Things looking good tomorrow. But then for the afternoon, that's when we start to see scattered showers and thunderstorms once again. And those, again, could pack a bit of a punch. Okay. I raced through that. We're on a little break. If you did watch us on Fox Local, you jumped on Facebook or YouTube, we can always go back to the tropics, but we're on the tropics. That is a huge weather story for sure. And right now, the changes that we've seen already, we've gotten an invest, our second invest here this week. We still have Dexter moving away from us. We have Invest 96L. That only has a 20% chance of any greater development. That looks to move away from us around the Bermuda High. And now we're watching this 80% chance of development. And this one definitely bears watching because it's going to likely have less dust, ocean heat content, and minimal wind shear to tear it apart. And that's why the National Hurricane Center has now put the Invest tag on this, so to speak. It's Invest 97L. And if you've never heard that, what that means It's just an investigation per the National Hurricane Center. It means that they're going to watch this. We're going to be able to eventually send in the hurricane hunters to this to continue to monitor the strength, the pressure, all the things that we look at when we're talking tropics. And notice, a lot of data suggests this mainly westward movement, and really it all depends on the strength of the ridge in the Atlantic. All right, 1042, welcome back. If you've been watching us on Fox Local, welcome back to our breakfast chat here, our Fox 35 Weather Extra this morning on a Sunday morning, August 10th. Here is the setup. And you can see where the high is. And this is going to be the steering of Invest 97, what likely will become Tropical Storm Aaron and potentially Hurricane Aaron. So we're still a ways away from getting any sort of impacts, if any impacts, to the United States. That's what I want to hit home to you, is that you've probably seen some imagery on social media. You've probably seen pictures of multiple hurricanes hitting Florida, the Gulf, the Southeast. I just want to hit home that we're not here to hype. We just want to bring you the most up-to-date, the most honest information, the most accurate information that we believe that we can. But there's going to be social meteorologists, media, like social. So that's kind of the play on words. Social meteorologists, not meteor. And I know it's probably sounds the exact same, but they're doing it just to get clicks. They're doing it just to get whether it be clout, hype. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I just want to hit home that get your weather information from a trusted source like the Fox 35 Storm Team, and or if you're watching from afar, wherever you get your local news, or a trusted digital weather source. But that's what we're here for as well. We're here on Fox Local, we're online, Facebook, YouTube. We're trying to give you all the information on any outlet that we possibly can here with the Storm Team and the Storm Center as well. So here's the setup. This tropical wave continues to organize, and we're going to see this area of low pressure, what is now Invest 97L, work westbound. The greater the strength of the high, the likelihood that this will take more of a westerly jog and a more southerly jog. But it also depends on how strong it gets too. If that high is weaker, if the Bermuda high, the ridge is a little bit weaker, this could allow what could become Aaron steer farther out to sea and remain a fish storm. Loren, thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. Jeff, you're saying, you're actually talking about it. You're seeing a lot of posts on Facebook showing it hitting Florida. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say, Jeff, is there shouldn't be any models out there right now showing it hitting Florida, because no one responsibly should be posting those models. I'm not saying that it can't hit Florida, but I'm saying that anything past 7 days, which is when this system could be hitting anywhere, whether it be the Caribbean, the U.S., it's pure fantasy land. Once we get the center to form, then we start to get a better handle on where this storm exactly will go. It looks like it's going to move westbound. We can say that much. It looks like it's going to move in the general direction of land, whether that be the Caribbean or the United States. But the question is, does it go out to sea or does it come toward land? So that's what we're going to watch closely, but there's no way to tell just yet. Data suggests that, though. And I wanted to show you the hurricane potential through the end of next weekend. So August 17th, this is, you've heard me say this before, the ensemble blend of data. It means different scenarios in the atmosphere are tweaked to show a greater likelihood of a certain weather setup or a weather situation. And by this time next weekend, this data suggests that we could have a hurricane on our hands, which is certainly a possibility. I think we are going to get a hurricane from this. I would be shocked otherwise. But to say it's going to hit anywhere just yet, you can't say that. You just can't. This is August 20th. And this data, you can see it, kind of how the data was looking as it was moving to the northeast, it looks like it's showing a hurricane, but closer to Bermuda, well away from the U.S. mainland. But it shows the chance of a hurricane nonetheless. A lot of the data continues to show it going away from the United States, still making for some likely really rough surf, high rip current risks across the eastern seaboard. But we're now just from looking at some data today, and again, this could change, but it looks like a lot of the data, a lot of the ensemble data, the longer range data is suggesting that we don't see this hitting the Gulf. That could change, but it's too early to tell either way. Nicole, yes, we'll have it by this time next week. We'll certainly have a much better idea for sure. Carrie L, how are you? So I love that you study hurricanes. There is a chance. To say there's no chance that it hits us, that would be irresponsible. But to blatantly share one model run and show this slamming into Florida, slamming into the southeast coast, slamming into the Gulf, it's just not true right now. And it just promotes fear, it promotes hype, it promotes anxiety. Being prepared and giving you the right information and tools to make informed decisions, like getting ready for a hurricane or a tropical system, that's what we want. We don't want people to have this crazy idea that a storm is going to barrel into the United States when that's clearly incorrect. So I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm going off on a tangent. We want to make sure that as much as we can, as meteorologists, as just meteorologists in general that went to school for the science, we just want to make sure that you're getting trustworthy, respectful weather news and weather information. Jossie, how are you? Wayne, it's not coming to Florida, at least right now. We can't say it's not coming to Florida, but we can say it is coming to Florida. Silvana, how are you? Thank you for the kind words, Silvana. I really appreciate that. That's all we're trying to do. Just bring that information, trying to educate, trying to give you the best information that you need to plan your day, plan your lives. So here's the dust. So it's 10:49, just so we know, time check. We're going to go on a short break on Fox Local. So if you're on Fox Local, hop on my Facebook page, Meteorologist T.J.Springer, or Fox 35's Facebook page, YouTube, and we'll continue the stream there after the, if you're going to stay on Fox Local, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So here's the dust, and notice right in here, you can see the swirl. It's over an area of minimal dust, and that's what's likely going to help fuel the potential for strengthening, and it continues to move over an area of warmth, little dust. There's still a little bit of dry air, at least from this data, that tries to work into the system, but it looks like it's going to have a lot less dust than what we've seen in weeks past here this summer. Now, we are here. We still have around 90% of our seasonal activity in hurricane season to go. We're exactly a month away from the peak of hurricane season. If you remember last year, we had Helene and Milton nearly back-to-back. Once we hit late September, things just took off. It was kind of a slow start. We've had some activity this year already, and it looks like as we progress through the remainder of the month, it certainly looks more active. So we're going to be keeping you updated every step of the way and monitoring everything here as far as the tropics goes. Now, 7-day forecast-wise, switching gears, we're going to become a little bit drier, more typical for this time of the year. Shower and storm chances still with us during the afternoon, but we're going to have this ridge of high pressure building in. With that, our temperatures slowly start to come up, and I actually wrote this on our weather blog this morning. That'll be something we'll have to kind of fine tune, but typically when we have that big old ridge parts directly overhead, our rain chances are somewhat minimal, and it's looking like that's going to be the case Thursday, Friday, and the next weekend. So temperatures may come up a little bit more, but right now I'm thinking low to mid 90s and rain chances around 40%, so scattered showers and thunderstorms for us. All right, I see 45 of you watching on YouTube. I see 39 of you watching on Facebook. Thank you so much. Welcome back from Fox Local to our breakfast chat here. our Fox 35 Weather Extra. We still have about 10 minutes left. And if anybody has any more weather questions, please throw them in. I'm just going to leave up the Tropics graphic right now. But we're here with you, and we're going to be bringing you all the latest throughout this week, throughout next week, as the forecast continues to evolve. But I'm sorry I got on my soapbox. I apologize. I just wanted to hit home on that because I've already seen a ton of it. I've seen, one model run get shared, and that's just not right. It's just not right to stir up fear, stir up hype, and it's just for clicks. It's just for the sake of stirring the pot, so to speak. Now, when there is something that is imminent for us and we think there's going to be a storm that is going to hit Florida or hit anywhere in the Atlantic, you're going to know from us. That is for dang sure. But Tina, how are you? Yeah, let me pull up the ocean water. Great question. Let's see here. I had that up in my show a ways. I should have probably thrown that in. Here we go. Alrighty. So, temperatures in the Atlantic, at least getting closer to home, closer to the Caribbean, Florida, the eastern seaboard. Water temps are in the mid to upper 80s. So it's warming up for sure, and sea surface temperatures have gotten a nice boost. And that's only going to add fuel to the fire, so to speak. Great question. Excuse me, Ellie, how are you? You're saying that thunder and lightning has been crazy lately. I know. We've had just, sadly, a nasty setup for tons of lightning. And that's another thing. We had a story on Good Day Orlando this morning. Lightning striking the house of someone in a woman in Winter Park. We always say when thunder roars go indoors, we say it because we mean it, because we've already seen, sadly, some people get their lives taken from Mother Nature, from lightning. And it can strike from out of the blue, so you think. But when you hear that thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. It's very startling, Ellie. I agree with you 1,000%. Jeff, how are you? Bettina, you're welcome. Ron, we can only hope it's a fish storm. It's just too early to tell right now, but that's all of our hopes. If the ridge weakens up a bit, which we can only hope happens, that would be spectacular. That would really allow this thing to steer clear of the U.S. mainland and likely even keep it away from the Caribbean, many of the islands. So we will be watching closely. All right, a few more minutes. If you've just hopped on, hi, how's it going? I said we get back to our trending story this morning, and I thought it'd be fun because I think a couple of you weighed in, but while I have you all, I'm going to bring back out my not Labubu or my Disney Labubu. So this was our trending story. We've been talking about it all week and how Labubus are just going nuts on TikTok, on social media as a whole, and Pop Mart, the company who makes Labubus, has another line, and because we live in Central Florida, our amazing producer Jackie thought it would be great to have us unbox a Labubu, quote unquote, or a Mickey family cute together keychain on Good Day Orlando this morning. So myself and Amanda unboxed this. For those of you that don't know, you have no idea what you're going to get. So you open the box, you open the bag, and there's multiple ones you can get. And this is just like the Labubu craze. So our poll this morning was, how much would you spend on Labubu? Whether it be for you, your son, your daughter. Because now that these have taken off and everybody wants them for their backpacks for the start of the school year, or just wants one in general, companies have now started making fakes. So it's like, wouldn't you know it, right? So there are fake Lafufus out there, And that's also been a trend on social media. You're opening up what you think is a real, legitimate Labubu, and they look crazy. Their head's upside down. Their faces are all weird. They're bald. Nothing wrong with being bald at all. I'm just saying that if you've seen a Labubu, you know that they wear clothes and you can't take those off. With the fake ones, the Lafufus, you can take them off. So I'm curious, for those that are watching, we had a lot of people that weighed in on Good Day Orlando this morning, and most people said they would not spend more than $20 on one of these. I think they're retailing for like $27.99 or so is what we had in the story. But believe it or not, people are selling them like crazy for auction, like $100. Just wild. So Jeff Wood, you're saying send a few thunderstorms to Mount Dora. My yard could really use it. I'm with you. Yeah, our yard at home could use it too. A question for you. For those that live in a home and have an irrigation system, how often do you use your irrigation system, your sprinkler? Because that was something that we didn't have growing up in Maryland. We just pulled out the sprinkler and watered the grass. But we run ours a couple days a week. So, and thankfully our water bill has been pretty good. So we've been okay in that regard. All right, Carrie L, you're saying I've been living for 5 years. I've never seen an 80% chance of a hurricane. Yeah, no. So 80% is. I mean, it just from my personal opinion, from my personal watching everything, this seems like it'll be a hurricane. I really don't see it not becoming a hurricane if something just drastically changes. But I would say at a minimum, a tropical storm. Carrie L. Ellie, you're saying they are cute. My grandkids probably need those. Hey, they're all the rage. I'm sure if you got them for your grandkids, they would love them. They have Disney ones. Like I said, this is the Disney one. They have a Lilo and Stitch one, I think. There's tons. So, well, it's 10:59, and we're going to hop off Fox Local in just a minute. And I think we'll probably just end it here as well. But this has been a great breakfast chat. Thank you all for weighing in. I really appreciate it. Again, if you're new to these, we do them every Saturday and Sunday at 10:30. Please share. Please get the word out. Tell your friends. Tell them to join us after Good Day Orlando if you stay with us throughout the show. But we wouldn't be here without you guys and all of you tuning in. So it's always so much appreciated. All right. All the love. Have a great Sunday. For all those kids out there, if you're watching, have a great first day of school tomorrow. If you don't start until later this week, have a great last couple of days of summer, and we will see you soon.